Good day, sir. I am Maria Kristine Verenisse Notarte, and we are the Group 6. We will tackle about the modality of learning, online modality. At the end of the discussion, you will able to comprehend the approaches of online modality or distance learning, and determine the advantages and disadvantages of online modality or distance learning. Online modality. Online modality refers to the high-end usage of online functionality. That is, the instructor effectively utilizes interactive online continuous education such as video lectures, video meeting, and small group discussions. Online learning makes use of the internet as a delivery medium to provide well-thought-out, high-quality, student-centered learning experiences based on tried and true best practices for fostering productive interactions among students, peers, instructors, and content. We obtain a more thorough understanding of the complexity that make online learning a dynamic modality when we look at it from this larger perspective. So, while the current use of remote learning technologies isn't ideal, it doesn't rule out the possibility of improving our preparedness if this crisis continues. COVID-19 presented us with a scenario that many thought was impossible in today's environment. Unfortunately, the truth of modern life is that situations like this are likely to reoccur. It is our job to put what we've learned during this crisis to good use and take the steps necessary to improve the quality of digital learning for students and teachers. The classification and approaches are synchronous and asynchronous. Synchronous refers to all types of learning in which learners and instructors are in the same place at the same time in order for learning to take place. This includes in-person classes, live online meetings when the whole class or smaller groups get together. In this approach, the students usually go through the learning path together, accompanied by their instructor. This is when the students get to ask questions or any clarifications regarding to the said discussion. Asynchronous learning is a student-centered teaching style. Its basic premise is that learning can take place at different times and places for each learner. Instructors frequently set up a learning path for students to follow at their own pace in asynchronous learning. The advantages of online learning are: it allows individuals isolated by distance, geography, and other barriers to gain educational access. It also delivers remediation or enrichment to students, like monitoring students' progress to see who is struggling, and retaking tests online anytime and anywhere, and worksheets like PPT and learning guides for students to have better note-taking. Offers a way to bring experts, outside consultations, or other individuals into the classroom from a distance. Links together two or more classrooms from different locations so there can be student-to-student interactions. Like in our Chem Lab, our instructor gives lectures at the same time and the same GMIT with his other handled students and courses. And the last one is distance education technologies can help teachers consult with experts or peers at remote locations regarding teaching practices, curriculum, research, and so on. It is an advantage by reducing the costs of physical instructional materials, enhancing educational program efficiency, and making the best use of teacher time. Problems and issues of online learning. The first one is monetary cost. It is costly when you have to buy load every time when you run out of internet connection or if the expiration date has come to an end. It is really a problem, especially when you are currently taking an exam or quizzes and suddenly the internet connection is lost. It will somehow frustrate you and will make you panic. The second one is digital literacy. One of the biggest disadvantages of e-learning is that the continuous of cheating and plagiarizing other works through various methods. Compared to on-campus students, online students can cheat on activities more easily as they take the activities in their own environment while using their personal computer. The third one is technical difficulties. Many students are not provided with the high bandwidth or the strong internet connection that online courses require, and thus fail to catch up with their virtual discussions. Their weak monitors make it hard to follow the course management system, and their learning experience becomes problematic. The fourth one is gadgets shortage. The usage of gadgets has made activities conducted virtually more flexible, and if a shortage of gadgets happened, then the studies of students will be affected. The fifth one is self-motivation and procrastination. Engaging online learning leads to lack of motivation, and when it happens, then the students are prone to procrastination. They tend to procrastinate because of the bombarded activities in every courses, and also when students are having a hard time in understanding the lesson. The last one is not all content works well with online learning. One of these is lack of communication with blackmates and instructors. Would you consider online modality as a teacher? How about as a student? For me, I would only consider the online modality as a teacher and student if there is a need to. Like now we are facing pandemic and our enemy is cannot be seen. So it is just right to implement this kind of learning. However, as one of the student engaging to this kind of learning, it is kinda exhausted and draining, especially all the time I'm only facing gadgets that can cause headache and eye pain. So, if possible, even if we are in the midst of pandemic, I will choose face to face. In that way, I can be a productive student. When do we say that distance learning is effective? For me, it is only effective if you are determined and you invest your time into the course which you are taking. The next slide will be discussed by June Mitchell Cutamora.
Good day. I'm here today to discuss about the topic educational applications of distance learning. So, distance learning is equal to or more effective than traditional instruction when the following criteria are met. So, distance learning had the same effectiveness of traditional instruction or way more effective than the traditional one if the conditions are met, which are A. The method and technologies used are appropriate to the instructional task, so the teaching method and technologies or tools employed must be suited for the task to be done. B. There is a student-to-student interaction, so a contact must exist between the students so that they can hear each other's comments and thoughts on each other. C. There is timely teacher-to-student feedback in case the student have questions to the teacher about the lesson of what they did not understand. Here are some illustrations about distance learning. So here we got things to be in need about distance learning. 1. Homebound and homeschooled students or students with medical conditions that requires them to stay at home or chooses to teach their child at home. 2. Virtual high schools are programs where classes are held online in virtual classrooms. 3. The classroom guest speaker or the person who is asked to speak to the class. 4. Distributed classes. where the lessons are distributed to the different schools but only one teacher. 5. Contact courses, where schools provide resources allowing them to extend their classes and programs to group or organization outside the school. 6. Staff development and in-service programs are programs that help to expand the knowledge base of all employees. Homebound and homeschool students. These homeschool programs are programs where classes are held at the student or children's houses. These programs are for students who have illness or injury, students with medical conditions that requires them to stay at home, or students where their parents decided that their child must be taught at home. These homeschool programs allow students to share assignments and activities online. Videotapes, classroom presentations, and lectures can be sent to the student via email. So teachers can use videotapes to record their classroom presentations and lectures and send them to their students via email. The student can also use internet for video conferencing for their class. Example of these are online classes. That's it for me. The next reporter will be Kristine, Verenisse, Notarte.
Homebound and homeschooled students. Harvest Christian School International, Catholic Filipino Academy, University of the Philippines, Open University, Treston International College. Students are deemed homeschooled if their parents claimed that they were educated at home rather than in a public or private school, and if their attendance at public or private schools did not exceed 25 hours per week. Usually, this is applied to those people who have higher income and who are incapable of hiring homeschool teachers. The next slide will be discussed by Jessica Caintic.
Virtual high schools, web-based programs where students participate via email, bulletin boards, chart, and file transfer with the teachers and facilitator. These programs are designed to meet the needs of homebound or homeschool students, suspended students, as well as those who simply want to take courses that are not offered at a physical high schools. These are the universities and schools who offered an virtual high schools, the AMA Online University, and the Southville International Schools. The virtual school is another term of online education or distance learning. It means that the student is learning in a virtual or an online environment rather than in a physical. Virtual schooling is somewhat similar to homeschooling in that student can learn from the comfort of home. But unlike in homeschooling, in a virtual school, teachers are doing their instruction while the parents will provide a support. There is an advantage and disadvantage of virtual high schools. The advantage of this is the schedule is more flexible. You can learn at your own. You can be able to work at your own pace or home. While the disadvantage of this, the students must remain disciplined to keep their work on schedule. It can become more lonely because it's always at home. It increase the screen time or the using a gadget of their student. It can limit the motivation to explore. The classroom guest speaker. Video and audio conferencing allow the instructor to bring in the classroom a guest who would normally be unable to visit. Numerous websites are also offer access to experts via email and chat. Guest speaker is actually defined as an individual that comes to the classroom to tell stories that can add to the learning process. It can also be the student energizer, inspiration, and support by sharing the insider knowledge. The school needs to have a guest speaker so that the student will be having a chance to learn more about the specific topic. Distant tutoring and mentoring. Tutors can usually work at their homes or at a central location and communicate with the student via email, chat, or video conferencing. They are actually sila ang collect sa mga relevant information on a particular subject or a course nga aron mag-guide nilang ilang mga student or ang ilang mga learnings according sa kinahanglan nato niya according sa ilang mga needs sa pag-study. These are the online nga mo-tutor sa og mag-mentoring sa mga students. The 5-1 Talk, Rare Job, iTutor Group, and Teach Away. Distributed classes. The teachers stay out at school, but classroom in several other schools can be linked through the internet, telephone, or video to the teacher's classroom. It is actually a non-face-to-face communication between student and teachers through such a different modes like teleconferencing, video conferencing, contract courses. Some companies now provide selected courses to schools that cannot offer those courses in the traditional manners. Staff development in service programs. Distance learning offers many opportunities for staff development and training. Alternative delivery modes. According to DepEd Order Number 54/2012, policy guidelines on the implementation of alternative delivery modes or ADMS aims to primarily address the problems of congestion and other circumstances which prevent children from going to and staying in school. Is in an alternative modalities of education delivery within the confines of formal system that allows schools to deliver quality education to marginalized students that those at risk of dropping out in order to help them to overcome personal, social, and economic constraints in their schooling. Refers to all alternative modes of delivering education service within the frame of the formal education system by DepEd 2012. Ang alternative delivery modes or ADM ay isang alternatibong paraan upang ang mag-aaral na naka-enroll sa paaralan na malimit na lumiban at iba't ibang kadahilanang umabsent. Ito ay paraan upang matulungan ang mga estudyanteng makatapos ng kanilang pag-aaral sa paraang angkop sa kanyang kakayahan. There are actually two types of learnings, the in-school and the off-school. The in-school group, the student will guide by their teachers inside their classroom, while the off-school group, to those students who prefer to study at home, they will be giving a module. Next slides will be discussed by Mark John Beltran.
Good day everyone. Today I will be discussing the continuation of the topic about EDM modalities or alternative delivery mode. So the national government through the Department of Budget and Management or DBM approved the request of DepEd for separate funding facilities for EDM modalities available in both elementary and secondary education. So national government provides a separate budget from DepEd and EDM. So based on the previous slides, EDM aims to address the problem of the students who are in risk of dropping out because of some constraints that they experience, including financial and physical. So ang EDM nag-aim nga ma-prevent ang pag-drop out sa mga students o aron matabangan po nila ang students sa aron makatabang sila sa students nga sa mga problems such as financial. So EDM modalities. Number 1 is E-Impact or Enhanced Instructional Management by Parents, Community, and Teacher. Second is Mimosa or Modified in School Off-School Approach. Third is OHSP or Open High School Program. Sample is Project Is, Home Study, and Blended Learning. And lastly is the local initiatives. So examples of EDM modalities: E-Impact or Enhanced Instructional Management by Parents, Community, and Teacher. Technology Enhanced Alternative Delivery Mode of Learning, wherein a peer-led approach is the main process that allows pupils to learn, interact with each other, and develop to their fullest potential. So sa E-Impact, ang mga estudyante tagaan po og access sa online modules and online learning materials so that they can develop their knowledge in their fullest potential. Usually offered in the elementary level, so ang E-Impact kasagaran gi-offer sa elementary. Children become the active participants in the learning process. So para ma-boost ang thinking capacity skill sa students o makabuild og critical thinking. Next is learning materials are based on the national curriculum standards for DepEd. So there is a E-Impact, ang learning materials pareha ra gyapon sa curriculum sa DepEd o pareha ra gitudlo. The delivery modes are program teaching, peer group learning, and individual study. So napoy grupo-grupo ag pag-study, napoy individual o napoy interaction sa pagparean ang teacher o students. So use of audio tapes in English, Science, Math, and Filipino. Gamit pod og audio tapes ang E-Impact para sa lain-lain nga subject. Use information and communication technology in teaching the lessons. So gamit na sila og kanang mga gadgets such as computer sa pagtudlo. Example sa i-impact gamit ang module MIMOSA or Modified in School of School approach combines formal and non-formal learning activities to meet the needs for classrooms, learning materials, and teachers. So, ang MIMOSA combine ang formal o non-formal learning activities. Has also enriched activities using the community resources as the laboratory for learning aside from the classroom. That is, half of the class stays with the teacher while the other half stays with the teacher facilitator in the community school. Management system where the parents, teachers, and community collaborate to provide the child the appropriate learning experience. So in this i-impact, ang parents, teachers, o community na tinabangay para maka-provide sa children o tama nga learning experience. MIMOSA or Modified in School of School approach combines formal and non-formal learning activities to meet the needs for classrooms, learning materials, and teachers. So, sa kaning program sa EDM, ang learning activities gi-combine ang formal o non-formal para to meet the needs for classrooms, learning materials, and teachers. It has also enriched activities using the community resources as a laboratory for learning aside from the classroom. So, sa kaning dili ra nagamit og resources sa classroom but also in the community. So, for example, the half of the class stays with the teacher while the other half stays with the teacher facilitator in the community school. So in this MIMOSA, it uses use of self-instructional materials that contain the lessons to be learned for the day. So gamit po sila og instructional materials nga that contain lessons to be learned para matun-an pud sa kanang to be learned for the students. Include the learning objectives, activities to work on, exercise, and questions to answer, and other enrichment activities. So napoy ansiranan sa mga students og activities. So MIMOSA utilize of community school as a laboratory for learning aside from the classroom. So dili ra sila sa classroom mag-study but also in the community. MIMOSA also improves classroom management and promotes equal access and opportunities for learning. So they improve the classroom management para to have an equal access and opportunities for learning. They also develops the students' study habits, love for learning, and self-esteem. So sa MIMOSA, tudloan ang students para kanang ma-enthusiast sa pag-study. And also attends the unique needs of individual pupils. So MIMOSA also address the needs of individual pupils. Ila pong tabangan. Example is module. Next is OHSP or Open High School Program. Example project is home study or blended learning. So sa OHSP, it is for usually for secondary education. It also caters to students who are not able to attend the regular program due to physical and financial constraints. So kaning program sa EDM para ni sa mga students nga dili maka-attend sa regular class because of some circumstances such as physical and financial. OHSP is also open to all Filipinos who have the capacity to do independent and self-directed learning. So, pwede ni tanan sa mga Filipino nga who have the capacity to do independent and self-directed learning. So, in OHSP, potential learners are the street children, working students, young mothers, and the like. So, sa OHSP, pwede miskila ang mga street children, working student, o young mothers, and uban pa. Independent or self-pacing flexible study. So, ang OHSP is a flexible study. The basic learning material for OHSP are self-instructional modules that contains activities according to the capacity of the learners. So, ang learning materials na gi-provide sa OHSP is mga activities that according only to the capacity of the learners. Mga example sa OHSP. That ends my topic, so the next reporter will be Sudaria.
Audio tips, cassettes, and audio CDs. This picture show the audio tips and audio CDs, its advantage and disadvantage. For the advantage, it is inexpensive, easily copied, and versatile. When say inexpensive, they are affordable at much cheaper price. Easily copied and versatile means, well, its disadvantage is it show are not interactive since they are only recorded and we cannot able to interact. Well, there is no visual elements also based on what we have seen. Voice message advantage: easy to access and use to administer quizzes, but require programming. Alternative to email for those students who do not have a computer. Disadvantage: not interactive, no visual elements, limited message. So, audio conference via telephone may involve two to three people using phone with options to conference or a three-way call provided by telecommunication companies. Larger groups that need speakerphones and telephones bridge. So, magamit sila
phone para maka-communicates o makasinabtanay. Speakerphone. Speaker message device. One-way conversation. The Flex message device allows simultaneous two-way conversation. Each standard handset. Oh, come on. Yeah. Telephone bridge. Electronic system that link multiple telephone lines from different location and automatically balance all audio levels. The next slide will be discussed by Cutamora.
Hello and good day again. I'm here again today to continue the report about the topic audio technology. So, audio conferencing via internet. So, what is audio conferencing? Audio conferencing is a meeting conducted between multiple separate callers. This enables multiple people on multiple phones to connect on the same call. So, in a nutshell, it's just a group call, but it's done on the internet. Of course, to be called conference, you need 3 callers in the meeting. To do audio conferencing, the user is required to have a software or a platform that has the ability to digitize and compress sound on the fly, such as Hear Me, Speak Freely, and Net to Phone. Streaming audio. Streaming audio is the term given to receive audio, mostly music, over the internet. This allows audio files to be sent over the internet in real time. Short segment is buffered, then audio begins to play. So the audio starts playing after a short piece is buffered. The streaming requires specific software such as Mixler, Real Network, and Microsoft Windows Media to listen the audio files. So here we got guidelines for incorporating audio technologies. 1. Distribute materials in advance. Prepare the materials in advance so that you won't be having problems later and can save you an extra hassle. Set communication protocols for an audio conference. So construct rules so that you're able to avoid interruptions during an audio conferences. 3. Encourage interaction. So don't just talk and somewhat ignore your listeners. Interact with them. If you want to, you can also ask them questions. 4. Record audio conferences on audio tapes or as streaming audio. So keep a record about your audio conferences in case you have forgot. You're able to play the video. 5. Keep it short. Make what you're trying to say easy to understand. 6. Beware of extraneous sounds. So beware about noises in your surroundings that may interrupt your recording. Video technology. The ability to see and hear an instructor offers opportunities for behavior modeling, demonstrations, and instruction abstract concepts. So being able to see and hear the teacher allows the listeners to have a great role model on what to do. Video techniques for distance learning guidelines are often driven by the transmission media. So the transmission media are the one who drives the video techniques used in the distance learning guidelines. So here we got guidelines in using video technology. 1. Avoid the talking head. This refers to simply videotaping the instructor while he or she is talking. So the talking head here refers to the video about a person talking with only the head and its shoulders are visible to the video. The examples of this are the news anchors in TV. 2. Reduce distraction. Reduce the things that may distract the person while recording the video. 3. Practice with the camera and the crew before the lesson. So you need to rehearse before the lesson starts so that you will know what to do during the lesson. 4. Encourage interaction. Interact with your listeners so that they won't able to feel boredom while watching. 5. Keep it short. Make the video easy to understand to the viewers. 6. Use the best equipment possible. Having a better equipment makes your recording easier. 7. Ensure quality audio. Make sure the audio is clear and can be heard so that the listeners won't have difficulty on hearing on what you're saying. That's it for me in this report. The next reporter will be Sudaria.
Watch the video first before using it as a tool. Tanaw sa ka sa video kung ano mo gamiton ang mga tools or gamit. 2. Make sure to check the video for anything subliminal skins. Check sa nimo ang video kung nabay ang skin sila. 3. Always use video that are appropriate to the age and grade level of the audience. So tanaw sa mga appreciate mo mga audience din mo sa sila nga age. 4. Provide guide question before playing the video. So putang sa nimo guide para nasli sundanan kung makisod sila kung harang masunod nila. After watching, engage the student by asking for the answer of the guide question. So, ask it. Sample of video technology. Kronos. Satellite video conference. Discuss video conferences. Microwave televisions. Asynchronous video tips. Cables not broadcast TV. Streaming videos. Computer technology that are used for distance education include email, communication, internet, chat, shared, whiteboard, application sharing, and web-based education. Guide for incorporating computer technology. Ensure equitable access. 2. Encourage the use of email for one-on-one communication. 3. Establish realistic expectations. 4. Provide adequate structure and guidelines. 5. Provide timely feedback to students. 6. Encourage collaboration. 7. Ensure sufficient technical support.
That would be all. Thank you for listening.